Yikes.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Manahil Nimar Jawali. I am a student of Rahan School, Kiringi campus. So today we have very special guest. Our special guest name as well. So I'm very grateful to have a guest in our interview. So we welcome our guest and get to know more about him and learn from him. So welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm excellent. I really appreciate you taking the time to have me on your broadcast, and I wanted to take this
It's my
moment
pleasure.
to thank you for what you are doing out in Pakistan. It's amazing.
Thank you so much, sir. So, sir, can you please introduce yourself for my viewers?
Absolutely. Yeah, my name is Will Turbot. I also go by the name Fake Mike Real News. That's where you can find me on all the platforms. My alter ego, if you will, Fake Mike Real News. And I'm a dude. I'm just a regular guy. About roughly 18 to 20 years ago, I found out that things in the world were not going like they were supposed to be going. We've got problems, big problems, and I didn't realize how massive the problems were. Once I started finding out about these problems, I understood that I had to do something about it. I'm not going to save the world by myself, but I had to at least do something about it. And since then, I've done everything within my power non-violently to try to make the world a more altruistic place. The goal of Fake Mike Real News, we're a collective, and our goal is to create a more altruistic world through nonviolence in the Socratic method. And people, I think a big reason we're in a lot of the problems we are is because of misinformation, miscommunication, and lack of understanding. And I'd like to try to bring as many viewpoints as possible and have everybody consider them.
All right, sir. Great. Thank you so much, sir, for your introduction. Now let's move on to questions. My first question is on your screen. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and how you got started as a YouTuber, activist, and radio host?
Yeah, so it really all started with with the Wu-Tang Clan. You ever listen to Wu-Tang out there? You ever heard of the Wu-Tang Clan? It's before your time. If you get a chance, I'm gonna send you a link. Listen to some music, American music, the Wu-Tang Clan, some of the best of all time. So it started funny enough listening to some hip hop lyrics, and Wu-Tang mentioned the Illuminati. And I said, that's interesting. What is that word about? And then I went and I searched the word Illuminati and YouTube in YouTube's infancy. I'm talking about this is when YouTube first started. Like I'm talking like 2005, right? I was a little baby. I didn't have a beard back then or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was a little kid back then. And I started searching up Illuminati. And then I would hear all these extraordinary claims. Things like hey, did you know that there was a third building that fell on 9/11 that was never hit by a plane? I was like, for real? And then they would say, hey, do you know that our presidents, Democrats and Republicans, they dress up like KKK members and they do weird stuff at this place called Bohemian Grove? Hey, did you know that we're $34 trillion in debt, Will? Did you know that we're spying on all Americans illegally, Will? Do you know that children are going missing, Will? And I'm like, holy smokes. I didn't, I grew up in school thinking, yeah, there's some problems, but I didn't think things were really this bad. So I looked into it. I spent about 2 years making sure what these people were saying was correct. Some of the things were not correct. Everyone has to do your own homework. People get information. You could be watching the news from Fox or CNN, or you can get it from the internet or somebody else. The reason I am here talking about the Socratic method is you cannot take anybody else's word for it. You have to verify information yourselves. People can tell you anything. Don't believe anything until you have done that research yourself. Because most people today, what happens is they hear something on the TV and they repeat it. Well, I think this because I heard this on the TV and they repeat it. The thing is, they don't realize that people on the TVs are controlled by massive, giant corporations who don't care about those people and are trying to brainwash you and propagandize you into something else. So I spent about 2 years making sure that there really was a third building. on 9/11 that was never hit by a plane. That was not covered by the official 9/11 story. Then I found out, yes, the Federal Reserve banking system here in the United States is unconstitutional. It's illegal. It's immoral. It was never properly ratified. That's a big problem. Then I found out about these other problems and I verified them to see that they were true. Then I heard an individual saying, when you know something is wrong, when you know there's a problem, you have a responsibility, you have a duty to your fellow man, woman, trans, however they identify, to do something about it. And that hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, oh, damn, you're right, dude. I got to do something. And at that point, I really didn't do much with my life. You know, I kind of dropped out of college. I was just working a regular job. I was just like, I don't know, 24, 22. I was like a kid, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, this is my life. This is what I'm going to do. And from that day, I've done everything from interview people to confront politicians to have food drives to bring water to Flint, Michigan, to have park cleanups, literally anything nonviolent that you can think of that's not a mean thing to do. And I even did a couple mean things too. I have tried to do it, and I've also tried to use the internet to kind of raise awareness about the problems that I think need to be addressed nonviolently.
That's really wonderful answer. Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful answer. Now let's move on to next question. My next question is for you. How do you balance your role as a YouTuber, activist, and radio host? What are the challenges and rewards of each?
So they're all one and the same, but I'm going to use this question to answer an even better question that I had to learn the hard way. This past Christmas, I know you guys don't celebrate Christmas out there. I'm not even a Christian myself. I have a personal belief in a higher power than me, but I'm not an adherent of any particular religion. But at this last Christmas, even the people here in the United States that don't celebrate Christmas, a large portion of them, they still have the day off of work and they're still going to celebrate with the family, and they're going to hang out. So I go see my family on Christmas, and my youngest cousin has a shirt on. She says, "Hey, Will, did you see the shirt I'm wearing?" And I look at it and I don't understand what's going on. And the shirt says, "The revolution starts at home." And I said that 10 years ago. And I started crying like a little baby. I was like, it was pathetic. But the reason I cried was because I had tried so hard to become a radio host, an activist, and a YouTuber that I forgot about the most important things in the world. The revolution starts at home. You can't be a revolutionary. You can't be a YouTuber. You can't be an activist unless you treat your family right, unless you treat your friends right. How can you be a revolutionary? How can you be an activist if you're not taking care of the people you have at home? So I got so wrapped up in this that I wasn't taking care of my own physical health. I wasn't taking care of my financial health. I wasn't hanging out with my friends and my family like I should have. And about 2 years ago was a big reminder. And I love your question. We need to have balance. People like you that are out there doing tons of work and tons of great things, and you're still a young kid, make sure you have some balance. You're growing up, early, and especially in places that you have to work hard. Over there in Pakistan, you got to work harder than here. So you lose a little bit of your childhood. So try to enjoy yourself. Try to enjoy your childhood. Keep working hard. You're gonna be rewarded. But yes, that's a great question. We should all have balance with each other. Don't go out there trying to save the world if your health is not great, right? If you're not eating good, if you're not loving the people in your life, you're not having healthy relationships, you have to do it both. You have to have a little fun too, because otherwise you start losing your personality there. So excellent question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your appreciation, and thank you so much, sir, for your answer. So now let's move on to next question. So now my next question is for you. How do you balance your role as a
Oh, that's the last one right there. There you go.
yeah. What topics or issues you are most passionate about, and how do you choose the content you create, discuss on your radio show?
The things that I'm most passionate about are treatment of the children. Basically, the people that can't really speak up for themselves. Children are at the top of that. Here in the United States, roughly 800,000 children go missing every single year. The majority of those are found, but there are still a large number of children that don't go found. Every year in this country, every day in this country, police illegally, social workers legally separate children from their families. And here in the United States, every state has a different, pardon me, name. Some are called CPS for Child Protective Services. Some are called DCYF, Department of Children, Youth, and Families. But regardless of what's going on there, these are the people that are supposed to be taking care of the children who are either in bad families or abused or neglected, and they're supposed to be there to help. Unfortunately, here in Rhode Island and the majority of the other states, these groups that are supposed to be helping the children and they're taking our tax money to do so, well, what's going on? They're actually losing more kids than the bad parents. They're actually having more children pass away than the bad parents. This is absolutely disgusting. And not one person has went to jail, let alone even gotten fired from their job for this horrendousness. Then on top of that, we have a large scale human trafficking, child trafficking going on. And this is caused by the United States government and a lot of other Western governments working in collusion with one another. We're talking about Israel. We're talking about the United Kingdom. And what happens is when all these countries like the US, they go and they bomb innocent countries and they drone strike innocent countries and they put their military in innocent countries, it destabilizes them. And even if they don't put their military there, they put their corporations there, and they'll economically or militaristically destabilize a country. What happens when a country is destabilized? Men go off to war, families are broken apart, people are killed, children go missing, and children are easy to go ahead and grab in a time of a war, right? Because people aren't paying attention. So the United States destabilizes these countries. Then they goes over there and completely brutalizes and pimps them. And then at the very same time, something that I said many years ago is it doesn't make a difference here in the United States whether you're a top elite scientist, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican, whether you're a scientist, you're all involved in disgusting things with children. And when I'm not sure if you're familiar with Jeffrey Epstein, but when it came out, the news about him, I had personally talked about Jeffrey Epstein years before the news even knew who Jeffrey Epstein was. I confronted Bill and Hillary Clinton to their face on video, asking them what they were doing on a confirmed child you-know-what-is plane before the news even knew who they were. So we have the Democrats, the Republicans, the scientists, Hollywood, academia, the elite, and they're all doing this absolutely disgusting stuff. Now, to your question, how do you choose your topics? For a very long time, I was focused on that and that alone. However, YouTube, you have to be, you want to be in the algorithm. In order for me to reach people, I have to be talking to people, and I can't see crazy things. I even cut myself off and didn't say a few things here with you today too. But the reason I do that is because I want to reach a wide audience. Now I've changed things up a little bit. Before, children were one of the main points, but I also talk about the fractional reserve banking system, the dangers of government, literally all of any and every wrong thing that's going on in the world. We talk about it, and then we try to offer some solutions. However, in the last year and a half, I've changed the focus a little bit. And instead, I'm still doing my live shows, but now we're going to continue to interview people, but we're doing man on the street type of stuff. I'm doing a channel on economics. I got a channel on geography. I got a channel on dating, some comedy channels coming out. Because one of the things I learned, and if I could teach anybody, if you kids are out there trying to be an actress, let me tell you a thing. I'm sorry I'm boring you. She's like, this guy's boring. Get to the point. I'm almost done.
No, I'm not boring. Your conversation skill is so amazing.
I see you over there like, wrap it up, buddy. Hurry up. So if I could give any advice before I bore our lovely host to death is, let me tell you, one thing I learned the hard way is, and I apologize, I speak quickly even for people in here in the United States. One thing I learned is I tried for like 20 years to wake people up with facts and logic. That's the wrong thing. Most people do not make decisions based on logic or fact. Many studies in psychology will show you that people, rather than making decisions on logic or fact, will make decisions based on emotions. So I've been trying to put some humor into things and some music. So just a little tip out there for the kids that are trying to change the world. Use some emotion.
Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. Now let's move on to the next question. My next question is for you. Can you share some tips or advice for aspiring YouTubers, activists, and radio hosts who wants to make difference through their work?
Honestly, if you just gotta, one, like I say, my whole thing is being nonviolent. There's a lot of activists out there that might want to dabble in violence, and I understand that. But I don't think that you can solve a problem with the same form of consciousness that created it. That's obvious. That's number one. I think find something that you love to do, find something that interests you. And human beings are hardwired through chemicals in their brain, like serotonin and dopamine, to actually enjoy doing good things for other people. So if you start doing good things for other people, and it's not easy when you first start out, you don't have a lot of resources. But if you can even make your channel I've been lucky enough in the years. I've been fortunate enough to interview people like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s niece, people that have uh, worked for the CIA, the NSA, diplomats. But I also interview regular people like me that are out there making a difference and changing things. And then also there are people that might have a problem, and maybe the news isn't paying attention to them. Maybe their government isn't paying attention to them, and they need an outlet. So whatever you're trying to do, try to bring joy to people. Try to help people out, because you're going to get something out of that. And the harder you work, the more rapidly you are going to see results. The more you do videos, the more rapidly you going to see things. And again, like I said just recently, the answer to the last question, but as well too, it's very important, if you're going to be a YouTuber, to choose your titles and your thumbnails. Those are the most important. No, because you can have a video of a unicorn, of like Jesus coming back and him and Muhammad hugging each other, and then there's a UFO and a Bigfoot. No one's gonna watch it if they don't read the title and then you don't have a good thumbnail for your picture. So if you guys are out there and you guys are just starting out, or if you have any other questions, my screen name there, Fake Mike Real News. You can find me there at gmail.com if you guys are up and coming and have any questions. I've done everything from have my channel banned to have hundreds of millions of views on the internet. So I know exactly what to do and what not to do. And I'd love to offer my advice as an elder statesman. So you can reach me, Fake Mike Real News at gmail.com.
Thank you so much, sir, for your great answer. Now let's move on to next question. My next question is for you. How do you engage with your audience and community? And what role do they play in shaping your content and activism efforts?
Yeah, I think this is important for everybody to realize. Um, they're not my community. They're not. I'm in this together. We're all like shoulder to shoulder. I'm not above these people. Most of these people technically are above me. A lot of the people that are in my community, in our community, we're all activists. Like for the most part, we're all activists. We've all got skin in the game. But can you repeat the question again? Can you put that back on screen? I want to try to be as specific as possible for you there.
Yes, sure, sir. My question is for you. How do you engage with your audience and community? And what role do they play in shaping your content and activism efforts?
Yeah, they play a humongous role. A lot of people, at first I was just doing things, and I was like, man, it would be really cool if I had my own story I could cover, right? But as the time goes by and people see you talking about the truth and saying things, then people are going to say, after a while, they're going to say, hey, I want to tell him about it. I want him to know. Because hey, the media, they don't care. I call the media, they don't care. I call the government, they don't care. All right, well, I want my people to know, and I know that person cares. So I'm going to do that. And then so now over the years, I've cultivated that because my audience over the years knows I'm not going to do anything violent, knows, hey, I might not be the best, strongest, smartest, best looking person in the world, but I got heart and I'm never going to give up. And a lot of my audience, like I said, are my peers, are people that I've met over the years and do great things. So all the time, every day, I'll get texts and messages. Hey, did you see this? Hey, did you check this out? Or oh my goodness, check this out. And then how do I engage with them? Obviously, it's via YouTube and the radio and so on and so forth. But also, I do it in person. And and we live in this new digital age, and that's fine, and that's beautiful, and it's amazing because it's allowed people like yourself, myself, and big shout outs to Rihan Alawala, somebody I incredibly admire, to amplify our message to a vast number of people who would ordinarily not hear it. However, some people focus too much on just the digital scape, and we cannot forget to get out into the real world and interact with real people. Because keep in mind, half the time you're talking to people on YouTube, it could just be the same people over and over and over again. And if you really want to be an activist, if you want to really change the world, you want to make the world a better place, you got to reach all sorts of people, and they're not just in the same places. So expand your reach would be something that I'd say also.
Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. So now let's move on to last question. My last question is for you. What do you hope to achieve with your platform in the future? And what impact do you want to leave on the world?
Yeah, so what do I want to achieve? It's just in the mission statement of Fake Mike Real News. My goal is to every day try to make the world a better place through nonviolence and the Socratic method. Extrapolating back, if you want to take a look further, the way I see it is there's a lot of people here on this planet that are brainwashed, and it's not their fault. They've been brainwashed through the food, the water, the chemicals, the propaganda on the TV. They have been brainwashed. And my goal is to try to unbrainwash them and or raise up other people who will unbrainwash them and let them know, hey, there's a problem. Almost all human beings we're we're empaths, and we really care about other people. We don't like seeing things happen. Here in the United States, when there's a tragedy in Haiti, um, people are quick to send money. When there's a hurricane that happens in Houston, they don't wait for the government. Regular people get in their boats and they start saving people, right? Because people do care, but they're not focusing on the problem because the media that's brainwashing them is showing something else to focus on. So my goal is to get them to focus on what's really going on. Once they know what's really going on, they're going to care about it and they're going to want to do something to solve the problem. So it's a three-part plan. One, wake up the people. Two, nonviolent action. Three, vegan tacos. We're going to celebrate with vegan tacos after we change the world, after we wake the people up. And how do we wake the people up? We keep sharing as much information as we can. We keep sharing the information that's not in the mainstream. We get it out as much as possible. And that's really all we have to do. Step two is then the people wake up and then make a difference. And then step three, we all get to party. We'll be in Pakistan. We'll be in the U.S. We'll be eating vegan tacos. And I don't know if you're a wrestling fan, but me and Stone Cold Steve Austin are going to eat vegan tacos and defeat all the other wrestlers once I've helped change the world. That's my goal. I can tell she's not a wrestling fan. I'm going to have to show you some clips of Stone Cold Steve Austin there.
Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. Your goal is so amazing. Thank you so much, sir. So, if you have any advice for my viewers.
Yeah, I would say no matter what, the world's a tough place. Keep your head up. No matter what, remain nonviolent. It's so easy to take all the crap that the world gives you and then be crap back. I know I've done it myself, but a way you can change the world, even if you don't have any platform, is every day, every situation, you can choose to be that light in the room that spreads love and joy to other people. Even a smile can literally change the world. A compliment. I can't tell you how many times I'm going to work and I'm not having a good day, and someone say, "Oh, man, that's a nice shirt you're wearing," or "Oh, that is so nice of you, young man," and just a genuine compliment makes me feel better, and then me feeling better, I'm in a good mood and I pass it along. So people don't underestimate love, man. Just be loving. And I have actually one question for you because you're such a hardworking dude out there. What do you do in your free time to have fun, kiddo?
I love to do watching videos and learning from my mission, like about my mission and taking interviews.
It is fun, right? It's cool. You get to meet all sorts of different people and learn things that you never would. So I definitely understand that with you because it's also difficult too. Because when you're trying to coordinate an interview, it's fun because you're just asking me the questions, and even better, they're on screen. But when you're trying to coordinate it, you got the screen going up, and you have to try to listen at the same time and do this and do that. So kudos to you at such a young age, taking on something a monumental task. And please also don't forget to have some fun outside of this too. I know this is fun, but have a little bit of fun too. But still, number one, change that world, kid. You're doing an awesome job, and it's an honor to be on this podcast with you. And one last thing for everybody out there: share, like, and subscribe to this girl's stuff. I don't know which way I'm pointing. That way. There we go. So share, like, subscribe. Help this young lady out. She can't do it without you. She can only go out here and make the content and do things in the real world. She's depending on you at home to like, share, and subscribe. And I have one more question for you, young lady. How can folks donate to you?
Yes, everyone, don't forget to subscribe his channel and mine channel also. Thank you so much, sir. So, thank you so much, sir, for inspiring your journey and insight with us today. It has been pleasure having you as our guest. We appreciate your time and the valuable information you shared. Thank you so much, sir. Bye. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Talk to you soon. My pleasure. God bless.
Bye.